This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. The Minister of National Security and Health Minister both addressing what will happen to those registered voters who may find themselves in quarantine on September 16th. With the details, we go to our Laurencia Smith.
With the 2021 general election just days away and the country still navigating its way through another surge of COVID-19 cases, the question was proposed to the Minister of National Security, Marvin Dames, who has responsibility for the Parliamentary Registration Department. What will happen to those persons in quarantine? Minister Dames suggested to the media just before the weekly cabinet meeting that if you are in quarantine, you may not be allowed to cast your vote.
If someone has COVID and they're quarantined, they're quarantined for a reason. And, this is, you have people who are incarcerated on election day. You have people who are hospitalized on election day. You have people who are out of the country on the election day. And they may be registered voters, but they can't vote because of the circumstances. And so, we'll see.
The minister admits that individuals break quarantine all the time, and he doesn't expect that to change.
We're taking measures through the Parliamentary Registration Department. They're working closely with the healthcare professionals to ensure that we take every step to have a healthy voting environment. And so that we have monitors, we have COVID ambassadors, we have police officers. All of this is in an effort. We've been doing a tremendous amount of planning. All of this is an effort to ensure that when people show up to vote, that they don't have to concern themselves about the person behind them or in front of them.
Health Minister Ranwawal says that his ministry has plans in place for advanced polls set for September 9th and election day on September 16th. Asked how quarantine voters will be monitored, Minister Wall says he did not want to outline the plans as to give any ideas for individuals to beat the system.
From the Ministry of Health standpoint, we're taking the position that they probably will not be able to vote. But again, as I've always said, that has to come from the Prime Minister via the Cabinet of the Bahamas. But there is recommendations in that regard by health personnel. And think about it now. How are you going to let someone who is in quarantine, who has the potential to infect other persons, to go out into a polling station?
Now, when asked how many persons are in quarantine, the health minister could not give a definitive number at this time. I'm Laurencia Smith for Jcn News.
The Ministry of Education defending the recently released national examination results where there was a significant uptick in grades compared to last year. When asked how the ministry would respond to those who attribute the successes of the Bahamas Junior Certificate and Bahamas General Certificate of Secondary Education results to the possibility of teachers marking on a different curve due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Undersecretary of the MOE, Sarithia Clark, had this to say.
I can confirm that this year the exam marking was no different from what we have been doing in previous years. I did indicate earlier that the University of Cambridge International Examinations sent to us a statement confirming that the integrity of the examination has been reposed and that the marking, the administration of the exams, all were monitored by Cambridge, and there was no change in the marking system for this year's exam when compared to 1993, 2020, or 2019 examinations.
According to the Ministry of Education, 875 students, or 16.96% of candidates, obtained a grade of D or higher in at least 5 subjects when compared to last year, where 598 candidates achieved the same. The MOE also noted that 83.55% of grades awarded this year ranged from A through E. Additionally, it was noted that there was a significant increase in the number of grades that ranged from A through C, with 50.44% of grades falling into that range in 2021 compared to 46.33% in 2020. Police on the island of Eleuthera are investigating the circumstances surrounding the discovery of a partially decomposed male body on Monday, August 30th. Preliminary information is that shortly before 2 p.m., police received a report that the body of a male was found partially decomposed outside a residence situated on Dump Road, Wims Bight, Eleuthera. Officers were dispatched, and on their arrival at the scene, they were directed to an area where they found the body of a male lying on the ground. Their examination confirmed the male unresponsive and partially decomposed. The local doctor visited the scene and pronounced the body dead. Police will await an autopsy report to determine the exact cause of death and the identification of a next of kin to confirm the victim's identity. Investigations into this matter continue. You're watching Jcn News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.